No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to the number one wrestling podcast on Pornhub, the Smackin Raw podcast, where the title of this show is hashtag work wife swap, but you will not be seeing any of what you can find on Pornhub going on if you were to type in that hashtag. I am your host, the patron saint of podcast, and the Warden, Matt Ritter, and I'm here with my co-hosts this evening. I know you all missed me. I gave you guys Travis last week. I'm sorry, but she's the host of the She Lead Showcase, the shaman of She Lead, inside the mind of, in the crowd. Story time with Miss Katie Kinsey, baby, the hardest working woman in podcasting today. Miss Katie Kinsey, baby.
Matt, I missed you so much.
Oh, well, you know, I appreciate that. It makes me feel good. And both, or I shouldn't say both because there's a third, but he's not important. The two most important members of Botch Spots and Chair Shots over at Rivet City Radio. He is a chef by trade and a mark by choice, the Will Gray. And assuming she's making her Pornhub debut, I haven't seen her and I browsed quite the catalog on there. She is the boss bitch herself. Allison, what's going on?
I'm good. Nice. Bobby technically isn't actually a member of Botch Spots and Chair Shot. He is just technically a guest co-host. But
kind of like Katie, like he's your Katie.
Don't you ever compare that again, Matthew. I choose for you. Oh my god.
You know, that'll make him so happy when I say that on Sunday. I'm flying my flag proudly of being the honorary oos of all things Creation World. This is my 5th time in 7 days on the channel, so I'm hyped about that.
So listen, I thought about this. I'm going to say something, and feel free not to speak on this, just so it doesn't. I just realized that everyone that somehow becomes affiliated with the show, either permanent or semi-permanent, was somewhere else before this happened. And I swear to God, I had nothing to do with that. It was not a plan. I didn't. I'm not stealing talent. I swear to God.
Hey, listen. It happens.
I'm just.
I forgot.
The evolution of podcasters. You start on your own, then you go there, then you go there, and it's like.
You go to one specific show.
I looked around and I thought about Will doing all the creation conversations he's been doing in 2 weeks of Smackin Raw with Vince off, and I'm like, fucking Vince, and then Katie, and now Will. The only one I didn't grab was the pastor from Alabama, but I don't know if he'd be on here anyway. This isn't really his scene.
No,
it's not his cup of tea.
Not at all.
So, but yeah, so that's the thing that happened, and we're here. And if the host of great value brand Smackin Raw is listening, I swear to God I had nothing to do with this, and I apologize. It just kind of happened. It's not a thing. I swear.
It's funny. It's funny as fuck though.
How you guys doing? Everyone doing good?
Yeah, living my best life. It's been a good week.
All right. What do we normally do? News and rumors, something like that. I didn't listen to Katie's show because, again, dude, I have never been up as early. Well, I can't say never. I haven't been up as early as I've been getting up in the morning this last week in a very long time. Like, I was going to bed by 11, and I was getting up at like 6 in the morning, and I was not enjoying it. So this will be like the latest I've been up all week, and hopefully I can fucking sleep in tomorrow.
This is 100% always the latest I'm up every week. Friday's always my late night.
I mean, this is normal for me, so I can't say anything.
He doesn't sleep.
I leave the house for work Like 7:45 to 8 o'clock. So I'm usually up by like 7.
Yeah, I wake up at 8 if I have to go to work, but gross.
I'm like a wizard.
You're like a wizard?
Yeah, I do things on my schedule. I never show up late or early. I show up exactly when I plan to. To everything.
That works, I guess.
So there's Will Gray time. Will is perpetually 45 minutes late to everything.
Well,
on the bright side, he always finishes after you. But anyway,
It's a marathon to get there.
I was gonna say, since I didn't get to check out Sheila yet, I started it, but I haven't really gotten. I only got 2 things. So, Katie, if you got anything else, feel free to chip in. I was also thinking, since you're pretty much on every week, I was just gonna let you do news since you do it anyway. But SummerSlam's in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in Chicago is trying to plan a SummerSlam meetup. I just bought a house, so I'll have to see how the funds are for fucking SummerSlam tickets before I commit to any of that. So if any of you are wondering, oh, is Ritter going to be there? Don't fucking know. We'll talk when we get closer to SummerSlam after, things are paid for and finalized and I know how much fucking money I have floating around.
I can't go.
Why not?
It's my friend's bachelorette week.
Okay, so maybe you convince her that a fun bachelorette activity would be Detroit. And then while you're there, just go do that.
This is the same conversation that they had in the chat of my show. I think, listen, I might fuck around and try and figure things out. Maybe leave a day early, go to Detroit, and then come home. I don't know. I have time, but I already paid part of what I needed to pay for this trip, so we'll see.
So one thing that I know about bachelorette parties, because I watch a lot of videos on Pornhub, dick is a very big priority. It's a theme, it's a thing, and there's going to be abundance of that at SummerSlam, probably more than you're looking for. So if that's something you're trying to incorporate into your activities, is where can we find the most penis per capita? It'll probably be SummerSlam in Detroit.
And men in tights.
My job demands an arm and a leg, so I got to rack up PTO for Mania in Philly. Yeah, that's
another thing.
Party house.
For that.
I still say party house.
Yep.
One big Airbnb for all of us.
Yep.
Well, let's all fucking do it. Let's start communicating. Let's get this shit done.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I got to figure out funds to see if I.
You got a year.
A year and 2 months.
But he's got a new mortgage and a 2-year-old.
Zoe
Will gets it. See, adult shit. Will gets
I got a
Zoe's allowed to come
daughter,
too.
Man. Kids aren't cheap.
Yeah. The only other thing I got, which I know wasn't on your news and rumors because it just kind of popped up today, is Steph DeLander, aka Persia Parada, is signed with Impact.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Saw that today, and as well as the Hex, Marty Bell and Sienna are also over at Impact. So Impact bolstering their women's division with some quality talent. I really like Persia Parada. I don't know I don't think she's done much since she left WWE. I don't know if she was like waiting for that callback and didn't get it or what the deal was, but no, it'll be cool to have her over there on Impact doing her thing with the knockouts.
Yeah, she didn't do a lot. She did some indie stuff. I think she might have had like a only fan time thing at one point. I don't know if she still does. That was like more towards like right after she got released, I think. But I don't know.
She did a few indie shows and then sustained an injury. Also, the D in Detroit does stand for dick. So.
Oh, for sure. I'm a big fan of the Impact's knockout division. I've said for a long time they've got, in my opinion, maybe the best women's division in wrestling, give or take the week.
Yeah, but it's hard when nobody watches Impact.
I watch Impact.
You also watch NWA, so like that's not saying much.
He's got you there, Will.
He does.
Watch a lot of indie wrestling too.
Oh, I've seen so many mud shows. You should I have to stop myself from spitting so much from the indie shows that I watch on YouTube and on TikTok.
You absolutely could. Like that's what we're here for. Like Me and Katie can cover the WWE and AEW, and if you want to spit indie shows, spit indie shows. If you want to spit NWA, spit NWA. If you want to spit Impact, spit Impact. If you want to swallow some dude on the indie scene, we're here for you. We got Pornhub. Like, it's cool. Do your thing. Because you watching indie shows is, and if you guys aren't familiar with this, Botch Spots and Chair Shots does a lot of things. They've got trivia nights. They've got, shows where they bring me on and we talk random shit, some wrestling and a lot of horror and all these other things. But also Will interviews and does a lot of FaceTime with indie wrestlers and releases those interviews. So you're doing your homework before, for your show, before you have these people on. So you know what the fuck you're talking about and you're really great at it. So
thank you, sir.
Yeah, no, keep doing your thing.
We are nearing 100 interviews on Botch Spots and Chair Shots.
And
I'm setting about 65 right now, is give or take. Where I'm currently setting today, I've done 65 interviews.
And that's all thanks to Allison, because she's the only one that keeps your shit straight. Without her, you'd be a fucking mess.
100%.
Pop off, Allison.
Fair.
I just pray that now that I'm training, I don't sign myself up for a match I'll regret. That, A, shout out to you for training, and B, got to be careful who you work with and what you put yourself through.
One of the things I get told a lot from the guys on the indie scene, especially the older guys that went and had a cup of tea somewhere, had a cup of coffee with one of the big boys, then went back to the indies. They were like, you have to save those bumps. Mick Foley said it too. You don't have, 15-foot bumps off a ladder. You know what I mean? If you burn through those in your early 20s, by the time you get to the show, your body's not going to be in the shape to do that stuff anymore. Like, you have to know how to pace yourself for the marathon. That is a professional wrestling career. And a lot of these guys are getting out there in their early 20s and they're burning their body out before they ever have a chance at the show.
I did something like that too.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it wasn't bumps.
Not those kinds of bumps.
Oh, definitely burned my body out in my early 20s, though. Thankfully, Kate came along and paced me out.
Yay, Kate.
Is there any other news and rumors that you deem important, Katie, outside of Detroit and signings?
There's a joke I'll tell you when we're not on air that you'll appreciate.
Is it about Thin Mints and how they're the best cookie Girl Scout has to offer?
No,
second best cookie.
Stop. That is a conversation that happened on my show. Let's take it down. ESPN is streaming AEW in Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands. So,
oh, sweet.
Pop off.
Yeah.
That's
maybe they can get those numbers back they lost when they kicked CM Punk out for a bunch of losers. Anyway,
that's on my list.
I know Anime Young Bucks. I watched your TikTok earlier about the Anime Young Bucks. I know where we're going with this. Or I'm sorry, Anime DX. I even wore my DX shirt for Anime DX, and I still said Young Bucks because it is Young Bucks. Is that it though? That's all.
That's really it. Yeah. Right as she shows up. That's perfect.
Hi, Savannah.
Hi, Savannah.
Thin Mints are the shit. The Young Bucks aren't.
Thin Mints are fucking gross. And I think they won my pool, and I'm mad.
I will kick you the fuck off this show if I ever hear you say Thin Mints are gross again.
Hey.
I love Thin Mints more than I love most people.
Thin Mints crushed up on vanilla ice cream.
I talked about it. I like mint. I like chocolate. I don't like them together. I don't know. It's not my favorite.
Right now, you're not my favorite. But let's get into what is my favorite. Spitting and swallowing.
Wow.
Will. Or no, you know what? It's your first time here. Let's pop your cherry. Allison, spit or swallow?
I'm going to spit first. The terrible fucking promo of Dom and Damian Priest on Raw where they just literally kept fucking up the whole time. Like, terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, Damian Priest is going to win the Money in the Bank next week. He's going to be great.
Money in the Bank.
So
like, it was just so terrible.
It happens.
I left that botch off of my notes. So I've got Swallow, Edge, and Beth calling out Judgment Day, and then I just put after a little bit of terrible banter, We get mixed tag and elimination chamber, which is what I'm excited for. It's going to be Finn and Rhea versus Edge and Beth. We got Beth, doing workouts, asking Rhea to tell her, how her form looks and everything, and she's lifting really heavy shit. Also, all the Judgment Dicks attack Edge and Beth, except for Dom, who almost got run over by Dawkins as he came in to make the save. Montez grabs Dom, feeds him to Beth. Beth gives him a glam slam, which she's used to because, again, he spent time in a women's prison. So, nothing new for Dom.
This is true.
And then Priest defeats Dawkins to qualify for the Elimination Chamber / Money in the Bank, whatever he's going on to. And then we'll talk about the other qualifier match that someone won later, because I've got thoughts on a possible feud with the United States champion and the winner of a match later. But yeah, so overall, I swallowed the segment, but yes, no, Priest not knowing what the fuck he was talking about and all of that, just bad.
Yeah, they should have stopped talking when Damien was like, "Money in the Bank." No, bro.
I mean, it happens. It's okay.
It does. But then it just kept getting worse.
Well, yeah, because then Dom started talking, and we all know that's atrocious.
My biggest
Like-
takeaway is I said that Prison Dom seems to be losing a lot of steam. It was cool for that first couple weeks, and the pop was real strong, but now it's just like they're borderline getting to those boos not being boo. We think you're a bad guy to boo. This sucks. Get off my TV screen.
I will say I love that Jesus and Vince, by the way, shout out to Jesus and everyone in the chat, including Savannah. But Jesus and Vince are just like fighting so hard to keep this Dom thing is cool and fun, and it's great for us alive. Vince is working. He'll be working next week as well. So we will be one more week without Vince, and then he'll be back because I'm assuming he's the man with the taquito.
I am assuming so. It's not me, so.
Travis might have taquitos. I don't know.
Look, I'm an Irish Jew, but I make a badass taquito.
Mr. Gray, spit or swallow.
I'm going to go out of left field with this one. You already know where I'm starting, Mateo. I'm starting with a spit. This is going to be the only one for the NWA. I guarantee it, because I know Allison doesn't have any and you and Katie don't watch it. So this will be the only NWA spit for the week. I'm spitting Billy Corgan's conservative, National Wrestling Alliance. First, putting your title belt on a Fox News correspondent was a bit of a stretch for me. But then when they started booking the crew, the CYN, create your own narrative, like guys, the anti-vaxxers and all the crazy conservative stuff those white guys were doing. Now EC3 is leading a faction inside of it under the CYN banner. It looks like they're putting all of their eggs in this hyper-conservative bandwagon. And for it to be a publicity stunt, I'm not sure that the NWA has enough gas in the tank to push through after this.
This may be the only time I agree with the take that you have on the NWA, but 100% agree. This is a terrible idea. Next thing we know, Corgan will be out in a MAGA t-shirt doing his thing on live TV. Trump could join the NWA Hall of Fame just like he did WWE.
The Smashing Pumpkins will probably just put out a new album and he'll pretend like the last 5 years didn't happen.
That might be the best idea for him, actually. Any thoughts, Katie?
Well, Billy Corgan sucks and doesn't like women, so I don't give a fuck about anything Billy Corgan.
Yeah, hyper conservative.
Will made him wait once.
And he did, and he acknowledged me and said my name. He said, "Oh, good. Will's here. We can start." Because I was 45 minutes late to my meet and greet for Billy Corgan and Ricky the Dragon.
I'm sensing the theme.
That's who I am.
No, come on.
Because I was going on the interstate, and I've lived in Nashville my whole life, and I got on the interstate to go north instead of south because I'm a genius, and that's what Will Gray does Will Gray things.
Hey,
like drive 20 minutes the wrong direction before he realizes he's driving the wrong direction.
Players fuck up. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. NWA does stand for No Women Allowed.
Yeah.
That's how he founded that show. Except
Their
for
world
Camille.
champion, Camille, is literally talking while she holds the Burke about she can't wait for her current contract to go up because she's already said she's going to WWE.
While she holds the what?
The Burke?
The
What they
fuck
call
is a
it?
Burke?
The Mildred Burke. Like, that's what the NWA Women's World title is called, is the Burke for Mildred Burke. The first
Not a
woman,
Burka.
the first woman to ever hold it.
I just thought you fucked up the word belt. And I'm like, wow, that's so weird. way to go with it.
What?
Will, you write about pro wrestling for a living and you mispronounced belt?
Yeah, well, I was kind of worried. Okay, the
Damn.
Burke. Got it. See, this is how you know I don't watch, because yeah, I had no fucking clue.
Yeah, Camille's a
Mildred
beast.
Apparently, WWE stands for We Want Enchiladas.
What is
All
That's
the
how
WWE
it-
wrestling.
The chat is talking Mexican food. Vince does not work at a 7-Eleven. He does not sell taquitos.
that's-
Travis is not happy about it. Savannah
I
wants
wonder
enchiladas.
if Vince will get fired again.
Apparently-
because Travis doesn't like
See,
that.
this is one of my favorite things that happens in a chat, whether it's Katie's chat or our chat, is now we're just going to take wrestling companies' initials and turn them into something related to Hispanic food. So we want enchiladas. Now we have all elote wrestling. So keep going. You know, we got NWA, we got MLW, we got NJPW. I need more. Give me all of the companies in the chat.
I literally
With-
did it to you the other day when it was you and Mara. You said you didn't like songs that had colors in them, and I spent like 10 minutes just rattling off song titles that had colors in them.
Yellow. There you go.
The chats derail fast.
They do.
Yeah, I know.
Katie, spit or swallow.
I'll give that one to you. I'm gonna swallow the women's fatal 4-way on Raw and Carmella getting a win. I love Carmella. I am happy she is healthy and in every sense of the word. She's back looking better than ever. She brought back the snapback and the moonwalk and trash talk and stuff. The gear was Lita inspired. She even said, and like y'all know I love Lita.
Clearly.
Had the whale tail.
Yeah, I was gonna say she brought back
It's
the whale
great.
tail. That's what was most important.
Exactly. And it fucking works. So I loved the Fatal 4-Way. I would have been okay with any of the women winning,
Mhm.
but the fact that Mella won in her return match, I'm happy.
I love that, like, her ring gear matched what Corey Graves was wearing at commentary. They're both wearing cheetah print. It was adorable. They're just
Couple
precious.
little shit, I guess, yeah. I'm ignoring the chat.
I can't, and I'm so happy Jesus and Vince are doing this. Vince said TNA Tostadas Nachos action. But no, I'm happy. Mella punched her ticket. She's a former women's champion. And we have, again, I'm sure you guys talked about it last week amongst all of the other weird shit like Eminem lyrics you guys talked about. But Piper got her name back. She is Piper Niven, not Dewdrop. You know, came out. Blah, blah, blah.
Hooray.
She was in there. She had a really good showing in that match. You know, they
Yeah.
portrayed her as a beast. Candice was in there. Mia Michin Yim, depending on what week it is and what they decide to call her on commentary.
They call her both.
Also out there. So it was a good match. And we had a lot of women's matches on Raw that we can talk about. So
Mhm.
Woo.
For once.
Women. Yeah, I know, for once. It's crazy.
I all right. Allison, spit or swallow.
I'm gonna swallow. I'm gonna go back to something from the beginning of the show. I want to swallow this whole thing with Edge constantly grabbing Beth's ass and her like funnily
Yes.
yelling at him about it. Like, it is precious. Like, I love it.
It's, I mean, that hype your woman up.
I know, it's so cute.
I love it. And the fact that she was like, don't like play grab ass. And what
Yeah.
does he do? Immediately grabs her ass.
Yeah,
Twice.
I love it.
As he should. Pop up.
Yeah.
I would do the same if I were Edge.
I mean, I would do it either way, but yes.
Well, exactly.
I mean, I
but
definitely
in this
grab
scenario,
Beth's ass, and I would definitely grab Edge's ass.
yes, in this scenario, I will be Edge. 100%.
You have a yellow shoe in the chat. Travis.
Oh, here.
Behave,
I s-
Bobby.
Travis can be mad at me. I started playing Hogwarts Legacy, but I got it on the Xbox, and there's a reason why, and you can be pissed. I don't give a fuck. Neither here nor there. I only got to the part to where I got my wand. So I haven't got too deep into it, but I've been having a blast with it so far. Yeah. There's always madness in the chat. That is correct. Extreme chicharron wraps.
Oh, okay, with the pronunciation.
Hey, JJ.
Shout out and
She
ring of
said
horchata.
Ring of horchata.
Deadly.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I'm
fine.
spitting the fact that I can't play Harry Potter till April because I don't have a PS5.
I don't either.
So, even though we got off topic, we are swallowing grab ass between
Grab ass, yes.
the rated R superstar and the Glamazon.
Me and the rated R superstar.
And
right.
I understand that you both would grab both of their asses. That's what I caught,
in a
correct?
heartbeat.
Yes.
1000%.
Now, are we talking like just like what Edge does, or are we talking like a little bit of Ricochet action?
Will you relax? I'm not Allison, you do not have to answer this question.
We're good.
Okay, fine. Then we'll move on. Will, spit or swallow?
I'm going to stay on Raw. And I'm going to
NWA.
I'm going to stay on the NWA. I'm going to stay on Raw with you guys. I'm going to spit Baron Corbin and JBL in any capacity right now. I'm ready to move past this. I think Corbin is well on the way to being the Corbin right before COVID happened again. Like that last little inch of the lone wolf Corbin right after he shaved his head for the first time. You know what I'm talking about, right? Before he kind of got into this weird wishy-washy King Corbin stuff. Because at that point on, he's kind of done this roller coaster wave. And I feel like he's ready now for a good push. And I'm hoping that when they break him away from JBL, that'll be it. But as long as it's JBL and the modern wrestling god, Baron Corbin, I'm going to spit it.
You know what? I actually kind of feel bad for Corbin.
How so?
Because this dude, through NXT and then into his whole main roster run, just cannot get any kind of fucking traction going. Like, the one time he was anywhere near the main event was with Roman Reigns, and they were doing the dog food matches and shit. And I really did think that there was some kind of something behind the idea of him being the new wrestling god and having JBL be his manager. And yet here he is losing matches to Dexter Lumis to qualify for a spot in an elimination chamber for a mid-card title. Like, he has dropped that far low. And for his longevity and all the shit he put up with and everything, like, I as a person, I almost feel a little bit bad for him. As a person. You know, the broke Corbin, the happy Corbin, all the shit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, Jesus said it in the chat. They've been giving him shit since 2018. That's pretty much what I was saying. He needs to go back to like that pre-2018 Corbin.
And when you keep both of your belts on the same person for freaking 3 years, how can anybody else really get over?
It's okay. That'll be over in, 2 months?
Yeah.
We don't know that. We just might have somebody else with 2 belts now.
At least it's fresh.
So, but I will swallow the fact that Dexter qualified because I love me some Dexter Lumis, and you know I'd watch his OnlyFans, so I'm all about Dexter, drawing pictures and doing things, and I would like to see him cuddle people to sleep in the elimination chamber. So I'm good with that, but I do feel bad for Corbin. What?
No. I know you love your Dexter Lumis. That's
I want Dexter to draw me like one of his French girls. Like on Titanic, you know what I'm talking about? That joke didn't land. Sorry, I thought that joke would be funner.
I just realized that. No, I'm sorry. I was looking at my notes and I realized I didn't put whether I spit or swallow for some of them because again I'm rusty. So I was like, but I know what I did. So
It's been a week.
Katie, spit or swallow?
I'm swallowing Alpha Academy versus Her Business. Pop off Her Business. They gotta win. MVP's in their corner again. And like y'all know I love Chad Gable. precious gem. He's fantastic. One of my favorite people in ring, out of the ring. He's funny. He's modern day Kurt Angle. But like Hurt Business gotta win. We're one step closer to getting the reunion that they never should have broke up in the first fucking place. I'm still mad. It's fine. I
don't want it.
I know you don't want it, but like I want it because I liked it. So
okay, that is why we are here. But yeah, no.
I mean, it's not gonna happen, but like I can dream.
Then what is the point of everything we're doing if it's not going to happen? Like, why are we doing this whole like MVP courting Bobby Lashley, Bobby Brock situation, giving Shelton and Cedric, some hope by letting them have one win in the last 2 years or whatever the fuck it is?
I know.
They took a loss like right as this whole thing started. And I'm like, well, what's the point? Like, if they're going to lose, then where are we going? And they're like, oh yeah, no, he makes sense. Let's give him a win. Okay, you got the win, but like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I honestly think it would have been better if MVP said fuck everybody else, stuck with Bobby, got rid of Almas, and started from scratch if they were going to rebuild the Hurt Business and cut their losses. Because even in the Hurt Business, Cedric and Shelton were taking L's. And I love Shelton. I really wish that we got more for Shelton. Unfortunately, he is one of those guys that needs a mouthpiece like MVP. And could go far if he had it because he's incredible in the ring, not on the mic. So never has been.
I mean, it happens.
Jesus is with me.
Yeah, I know. Whatever.
But
I'll be alone.
Remember,
I'll be on the island by myself.
You be on BBC Island all alone.
Fuck you. I will, and I'll enjoy it. Okay.
I really want to like Chad Gable, but I just can't. And it's because of the shush thing, because of Encino Man. Like, I just can't. I associate the two things together and like,
fair.
Like he's fantastic in the ring, but the gimmick, like the shush, shush. Like that's all I see whenever I hear it.
Well, Katie, it sounds like you and Tim can be on BBC Island together, but he might be building a boat to swim away. So,
It's like I said, I'll keep the island to myself. It's fine.
And
it's much more pleasant there.
Yellow shoes like Encino Man. Allison, spit or swallow?
I am going to spit Chelsea Green because she's obnoxious and I just can't. Yeah.
She's
Of course you're gonna like Chelsea Green.
It's not that I like Chelsea Green.
You like to look at Chelsea Green.
I'm not going to deny that I like looking at Chelsea Green. There are a lot of women out there that I enjoy looking at. She is one of them. But no, like the Karen gimmick, because it's a gimmick for gimmick's sake, and she does it so well, I kind of enjoy. Also, anyone harassing Adam Pearce is fun for me because fuck Adam Pearce. So he doesn't do his job and he deserves it. So like her just annoying him and getting on his nerves on Monday was working for me. She also got a match with Asuka for her trouble. Now, this is where I took an issue. And this is where I will agree with you. That gimmick does not constitute the amount of offense that she got on Asuka, especially this new version of Asuka, you know, and the fact that she had Asuka like laid out on the ground long enough to walk around the ring and taunt before Asuka got it, like that. I was not. I'm like, no, this is not A, what I expected from my new Asuka, and B, what I'm expecting to get out of Chelsea Green.
I agree.
I feel like they're just trying to butter her up to get Matt in, who is still booking dates with NWA.
Well, apparently he lost his calendar, so he has to tell people where he got booked, or people have to tell him where he's been booked.
Yeah.
Can we talk? So during that match with Asuka, all of the female Elimination Chamber participants who are going to compete for a number one contendership at WrestleMania against Bianca Belair were ringside watching the match because Asuka was in the match. And then tonight, why is Natty trying to make a wrestling singlet fashionable? And here's the thing, like, I don't know women's fashion, but I'm home. I was off this week, so I'm home. So I looked at Kate and I'm like, Kate, is this like a thing? And I just don't know. Like, are women actually walking around wearing this shit? And she said, as far as she knows, no.
Yes. they are.
That women are just wearing, the same thing I wore for wrestling matches in 2004 with a Louis Vuitton belt over it. And
know what it
whatever
kinda
shower
reminds
cap
me
that
of?
she had on.
It looks like she went through her Uncle Brett and her dad's stuff from like the late 80s. Like the singlets with like the pink hat beret things that him and Neidhart used to wear. Like, Al, you said it during the show.
Yeah,
You're
I
like, what the
even
hell's
wrote
up
it
with these
down.
hats?
Yeah.
And it kind
She's
of
wearing-
looks like she went through like their old singlets and hats and just started piecing together old gear from her dad and Brett.
It's literally what she did.
I mean, when I think of a bodysuit, I think of a full bodysuit, not like a tank top and
It's
shorts.
this thing now.
It's like, I mean, yeah. I don't
like
know.
the bicycle shorts with the t-shirts from like the early 90s, like that whole situation is back and
Yeah.
trendy. Like it's
I mean, it's comfy, so like
I'm here for
I'm
it,
okay with
whatever.
it.
Bobby. I do not have my wrestling singlet. However, I do still have my football jersey, and it actually still fits, and my Letterman's jacket from high school. So I do have those two things.
That was
And
an
I think I
ad.
have a couple medals from when I wrestled laying around somewhere that I have to find that I did not find when I was unpacking. So
That's
they
an
may
ad.
also be on my Letterman's jacket.
I have my band Letterman's jacket.
I mean, listen, Travis is in the chat, so I'm not going to say anything about people getting Letterman's jacket for doing band. Travis played saxophone in high school, and he was an avid band member, and I don't want to lose my show. So shout out to band members and their Letterman's jackets.
They made me choose between football or band.
What'd you choose?
A
Cooking.
saxophone. Yeah, I chose to cook for a living. I chose to be
Home ec.
completely honest, because of TSSAA, I chose a saxophone and the ability to continue to smoke tree my whole life.
Fair enough.
Because they were going to drug test me to play football, and I was like, no, I'm not okay with that.
They do that.
Couldn't
They
imagine
really
Yeah.
do.
playing football.
Mhm.
I was not in the band. So
Yeah, I played a saxophone and tuba.
That's how we met. It was in college marching band.
I'm not going to go there. Will, seeing as all of the instruments you played involved your lips, you're proficient. Spit or swallow.
Well, speaking of, I'm going to gargle undecidedly because I want to spit part of the segment and I want to swallow the other part of it.
Okay.
I want to spit Lashley getting the shit beat out of him. Not a huge fan of that, but I'm swallowing everything about this Brock Lashley feud they're building. I feel like Lashley constantly being made to be Brock's ragdoll seems kind of like rinse, wash, and repeat with the two of them. Like, give us something new with it. It's not as bad as Roman Brock was, but it's getting close if they don't spice it up a little bit.
So I spit the fact that Brock and Bobby tried to do the promos and failed. However, Bobby did say that when Brock fucks Sable, he thinks about Bobby afterwards, and that I did enjoy. What? Is that not what he said?
it is, but like the fact that it was said is just like the fuck.
I mean, Hangman said something earlier about fucking John Moxley in the ass or something like that. I don't
Oh yeah.
remember the exact words, but Kate heard it and she looked at me and she goes, he needs to work on his phrasing.
Oh yeah, he said something along the lines of he
He
ate
liked-
John's ass for the last 2 minutes of that match or something like
Yeah,
that.
no, he ate his ass alive, is what he said.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what it
yes. My apologies.
But
You
no,
carry to
I'm,
that sort of thing.
We don't king shame here.
we do
We
not.
don't yuck any yums.
Well, there are some yums that we do yuck, and it's all. Well, we're not going to get into it, but there is a line that you can cross.
Oh, there are
some
yes,
yums you can
okay.
have that we will yuck.
Correct.
But I'm with you, Will. The whole thing with like, I need my lawyer to look at this contract, and then Brock's like, okay, and picks him up and F5s him. It's like doing the same things over and over and over again. And at this point with Bobby, he should be able to fight back. Like, it shouldn't be a ragdoll situation like this. Like, Bobby should be on that level of Brock to where it's a competitive brawl or something more than this shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Katie, spit or swallow.
Isn't it your turn?
I have not gone once at all this entire show. When we have a 4-man show, I just do you three and I chime in.
Okay, that's fine.
Remember we did this with Vince?
I thought you went. That's why I like got confused.
You have not been paying attention, young lady.
Excuse me. I tried to hold the show down last week because you were not here.
You did a great job.
Oh, she held on tight. Me and Travis for 90 minutes straight tried to derail the shit out of this.
She firmly grasped it.
She did.
I'm swallowing the Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes back and forth. I'm not acknowledging my co-host. That was.
Whoa!
Yeah. You guys really just. Yeah. Anyways, so Paul Heyman is
I've been reading as
fantastic.
it pops up here, not the live chat over here. I looked at it. I was like, oh God, Savannah.
That's why. You gotta do it in the comments. Paul Heyman is fantastic on the mic. There's never been any denying that. But the way that this man like switched on and off emotions, he went from almost crying to laying into Cody Rhodes, being like, "Yeah, Dusty said you were his favorite son, but Roman's the son he always wanted." And I was like, you can't do that. I was shook. That shit had me glued to my seat. I was invested the entire time. People were like, "Oh, they're gonna bury Cody. Cody's not gonna." No, fuck all that. We have 2 great storylines going right now. We have all the Sammy shit, which is just chef's kiss, and now we have a good lead with the Cody stuff. This is what you had to do to get the people invested in it, and I think they did a fantastic job. And I cannot wait for the Mania match.
Dude, I 100% agree. Everything Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes. Having a moment over Paul saving the Rhodes family by booking Dusty in ECW in 2000. Paul almost crying and then turning it around and throwing out, all of the main event people Dusty trained and prepped, but didn't train Cody himself. The line that you said about Roman's the son that he always wanted, like that whole thing had me glued to my TV, had me sucked in. We have said it before. In AEW, Cody lost us for a good while. I was not a Cody Rhodes fan. I was not feeling Cody. I was not about it. Him coming to WWE and even a little bit at the end of his AEW run, but since he's been here, I have become a Cody fan. I'm behind Cody. His promos, everything he's doing, some people, it's repetitive. It's the same thing. He's talking about it, but it matters, and he hasn't achieved it yet. To see him achieve that, I've always said I am big on like seeing these families, these, my father, my brother, so on, never got to that point, never won those championships. So to have someone in that family finally reach that point is something I love to see, and it's a story that I love seeing told. So I am all about this as well. And
the fact that Cody now, like you said, we're behind. Like this is what we wanted out of it. Yeah, people can say it's repetitive and all that stuff, like him the past 2 weeks being like, so what do you want to talk about, which that's fine, I don't care, because then he goes on to create this narrative that he's crafting, and it works because it's true. No person with the last name Rhodes has achieved that yet. And he's going to be the first one, and it's going to be incredible, and people will cry, and the crowds will cheer, and people will boo, and Roman will disappear for months. Maybe.
At least a year. He'll be gone until the next Mania.
I'm sure Fast the Furious 11's right around the corner, so, or Hobbs and Shaw 3.
Well, no, because they have
12.
Jason Momoa's in Fast X, so you can't have Roman in it too. They're basically twins.
You can, and then you have them face off, and vaginas explode.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
I saw Jason Momoa's in that trailer. Said I might have to watch this.
I was gonna say, listen, if you got Roman Reigns and Jason Momoa in a scene together, I feel like pussy popping would be an actual literal thing in theaters around the world.
I'm going to say this, and I can't believe I'm going to bring it up on your show. Dusty never won the WWE title, IC title, or tag belts either. Cody won them both already. Dustin too, maybe. Bobby brings up a great point because Cody needs the US belt and the world title to be a Grand Slam champion, and Dustin only needs the world title to be a Grand Slam champion. So in a lot of ways, historically speaking, both sons have already done more in WWE than the Dream ever did. And I pride myself on attempting to be a wrestling historian here, but Cody and Dustin's careers both, by the time Dusty got to WWE in a lot of ways, he was already towards the end of his run. You know what I mean? Like, he had already seen a lot of his heyday. So, Bobby actually brings up a good point that Cody and Dustin both may have already had better WWF specifically careers than Dusty did to begin with.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Dusty had a shit run in WWE outside of, everything that he did behind the scenes as a producer with NXT and all that. But
as a worker in the 80s and 90s, that's what I mean specifically.
I was originally just going to name this episode #WorkWife Swap, but now I'm thinking maybe Lana Rhodes, because that's popped up twice in the chat. And the fact that whole interview with Cody where they thought that Lana Rhodes was his sister and Lana Rhodes is a porn star. Like, I think episode 280, maybe Lana Rhodes could be a great title for the show.
He said it so fast and the voice crack, he was like, porn star? It's like, sir?
And then he had to look like, are we related? Like, he was like, wait a second, really?
No, I'm leaning towards maybe Lana Rhodes is our title, episode 280, maybe Lana Rhodes.
We still got time. Roads. It could change, but that's a good one.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Katie. So we're on Allison. Yes, Allison, spit or swallow. Thank you, Katie.
I'm going to move on to NXT because all of my other things were already talked about for Raw. I'm going to swallow the toxic attraction breakup for sure. It was an amazing spot. I thought it was great. Like, it's time. It's time. Like, it hurts, but it's time. It hurts. But it's time.
They fucked with me though, because so we do the whole ding dong hello returns and Bailey's out there stirring the pot, and JC says Gigi looked like a hobo that banged a Chucky doll, which again is something I would probably watch on.
It's 100% something you would watch.
I really would. JC, the JC position is on your back, staring up at the lights. Like, I love these subtle sexual blows, but then we get to the point where like they kind of mend fences and they're talking about, maybe we should go for one more run for the tag titles. Maybe we should go for the main roster tag titles. And Bailey's like, whoa. And I'm like, okay, I'm down with this. Like, if they want to get called up and they want to go and they want to take on, blah, blah, blah. And then JC out of nowhere pulls, and nobody in their right mind thought that JC was the Shawn Michaels of this group. Let me be clear about that. Nobody thought JC was going to be Shawn Michaels in this group. However, she pulls the Shawn Michaels. And the way she threw her head into the door and then kicked it, like, there was no give on that door, just brutal as fuck. I'm pretty sure Gigi was crying for real, and I almost cried because when pretty girls cry, it makes me cry. Like Megan Fox, we've talked about this, neither here nor there. Fucking loved it. Loved the whole thing.
Yeah. Fuck them for really getting my hopes up. I really thought Toxic was gonna go to the main roster, and we were gonna get it because we were talking about it, and then they really pulled that shit. My heart shattered because like we stand Gigi Dolan over here, so the fact that happened to her, damn it, JC.
So my wife is with me all week watching wrestling, and I'm sitting there, and Gigi came out. I think it was when we were watching Vengeance Day. And I just started singing, she's got dumps like a truck. My wife looked over, she goes, Jesus Christ, she does. I was like, and this is why
she do. She really
Gigi Dolan. On top of many other things.
Those
Yeah.
pants
Not for many
she
other things.
wore on Tuesday, like when Will and I were watching it, I said, "Oh my god, her ass is huge!" Like
It
I
really
never
is.
really like paid attention, but like the pants she was wearing were kind of baggy. I was like, "God damn her!"
You know what really happened here, guys? This is how this went down. Sean Hickenbottom was sitting at home late on Monday night, and he's like, "Fuck, I've got homework due tomorrow." And he's like, "Who's the really smart kid from work or school?" And he's like, "Hold on." He's like, gets his phone out, and he's like, he's like, "Vince, I need to borrow your homework, but I'll copy it, but it'll be just different enough that they won't be able to tell I copied you." And Vince is like, "Okay, cool." And then Sean was like, "I've got this great idea on how we're going to break toxic attraction up." Because it was exactly what they did in 92. It was almost identical to what happened in the Brutish the barbershop that day.
I was gonna say it was a door instead of a window.
Yeah.
There was a super kick. It was the whole thing. But I loved it. It was fantastic.
That was kind of my take. I loved it. I thought it was great, but that was kind of what it seemed like. It was like, instead of, the barber, it was Bailey, and like all the little changes, but it was still cool. I liked it. I'm about
This is a trend though. Like we see like Triple H and Shawn looking back at all the things that Vince booked them through, and like, I need another hog pen match. Can I get a hog pen match? Can we get one of that? Can we bring that
Do we
back?
really need that though?
No, we don't. Will, spit or swallow?
I will stick on NXT, and I'm gonna swallow Odyssey Jones, even though he took an L. I'm glad to see him back. I was really hyped. We saw him work some dark matches last year, and I thought he would have gotten called up and had a better run, but he never did. But to see him back on NXT, he's a quality worker. He was one of those guys I saw in the Indies before he got called up to NXT and did the what was the next big thing tournament they did last year?
The breakout tournament.
Yeah, the breakout tournament. I knew who he was, and Blake Christian and a few of those other guys, like we were talking about. I just watch a shit ton of indie wrestling, so I already knew a bunch of those names. So I'm waiting for Odyssey Jones for them to really kind of decide if they want to push him to the moon or not, because he's talented enough to get there if they decided to use him.
Well, he was injured for a while. I do know that, so that could also be why he isn't on the main roster yet. But he's one of the best bigger men in wrestling.
When Jonah wakes up, he's like, "Fuck, I wish I was Odyssey Jones."
Damn. I mean, true, but yeah, you're correct, 100%.
I didn't need to talk to the IWC real quick, because I agree with you. However, I do not want to hear, now that we're talking about Odyssey Jones and how great he is and getting called up, any of you say we need to what?
Never mind. Sorry.
I decided that is the front runner for the title this week.
Rhodes is spelled weird.
That's how she spells it. That's
oh, my apologies. I was not aware.
Well, you need to get on your Pornhub search bar.
Roads.
Sound like you're gonna say something else at the end of the sentence, anyways.
Please don't start the Odyssey Jones to hurt business or forming new nations. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that shit,
please,
at all.
Oh, that's not at all what I was implying. I just think
I'm not you. That's why I said I want to talk to the IWC.
Yeah.
No,
they don't listen.
The stupid fucking people who do that shit all the time.
Yeah, because now that we're having the conversation about calling him up or how great he is, that's generally where, oh, he's black, let's put him here. No, don't do that.
Yeah, during Black History Month, y'all would do that?
Katie, I know you have one last thing from Raw, don't you?
I still have two things, but yes.
Oh, okay. Spit or swallow.
Okay, well, since you brought it up, I'll say it. I'm swallowing the cage match. Listen, we didn't get it on Raw Triple X when we fucking should have. We got it on Monday. It was great. I love Bailey. I love Becky. Fantastic. But you know who comes out for the save? My girl, Lita. This is what I wanted. I think it would have been cool if she was like the special guest referee, but that's fine. She comes out for the save. Twist of Fate on EO. I love it so much. I don't care what happens with it in the future. Lita. That's all I want. That's all I need. You can bring Trish back too if you want to. You don't have to. But like, I'm down with just like Becky, Lita, Damage Control.
Well, and that's the weird thing is I saw a lot of people saying that, and it was like, from what I heard, the plan was Bayley wanted to wrestle Lita at WrestleMania, which I am 100% down with. Give me that all day long.
Let's go.
But then everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be Becky and Lita versus blah blah blah, or Lita and Trish are gonna come. And I'm like, who? Why are we just because Lita showed up doesn't mean Trish is showing up? Why are we throwing Trish in this?
That's something that actually pisses me off, and I'm glad we brought this up. Lita and Trish, trailblazers. You think of that era of wrestling, you think Lita and Trish, right? You're either one team or the other. I was always Team Lita because that's just me. They are both fantastic in their own right and everything they have done. Yes, they're best friends. They're team bestie. They do not have to do everything together. You know, like Lita came back, had the match with Becky at Chamber last year. Trish had the match with Charlotte at whatever fucking pay-per-view like 2-3 years ago. I don't know. Like, they can do stuff alone. You don't have to just group them together because the one shows up. Like, Trish has really no say in this story. Lita does because she saw what was happening with Becky when she was big time Bex. Fought her, lost, went away. Becky went away, came back, became the man again. Lita's like, no, see, this is what I wanted. This is what you needed to do. And now they're cool. So that's how Lita fits in the story. You're welcome.
Well, I was going to answer that question too. So essentially, Becky did an interview earlier in the night where she said she had one last card to play, that card being Lita, which is why Lita was backstage, which is why her music was ready in case Damage Control did something and they needed her. That Becky told us she had that. As far as how Lita actually fits into the story, we'll probably find out on Monday as to what her relationship with Becky is and if she has a problem with Bayley and why and so on and so forth. Just because it's not apparent to you right now, Bobby, because you hate women, doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to explain it. So,
couldn't have said it better myself.
Speaking of women that Bobby doesn't hate, Allison, spit or swallow.
I am going to swallow everything Wesley. I freaking love him. I don't know. I just really like him. I think he's got a good attitude, and I think he works really well. I know y'all probably don't like him, but I like him. Fuck you guys.
Well, I know Matt's history with Wesley, so that's why I laugh.
Don't hate me, man.
Matt, what'd you used to call MSK? Or, yeah.
Matt Shitty
Matt's
Kids.
Shitty Kids.
Riddle, not Ritters. I wouldn't have shitty kids. I raised my children right. So,
Child.
yeah. Well, I raised my child right, but I consider you and Vince my children as well. And you guys are doing fantastic out in the podcasting world as I raised you. So,
thank you. Never mind. I was
you're my not so shitty kids.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
The above average children. I like Wesley. I'm a Wesley guy. I mean, I'll get behind him. Sideshow Bob at first I was giving him a lot of shit because I said that way back when on my very first time on Smackin' at Raw, Vince and I kind of went back and forth about it because I was like, I'm not a big fan of MSK for the same reason I'm not a big fan of Anime DX. Is if the rules don't matter when you're in the ring, then I don't want to watch you wrestle. And I don't feel like the rules mattered a lot to MSK when they wrestle. So that being said, Wesley's kind of turned it around on me. Like seeing him work as a singles competitor, he has the same kind of flow and timing that Trey Miguel has. And Trey is long-standing my favorite of the Rascals.
With good reason. He's the only good one.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll get behind Wesley in the interim for right now. He's proven that he's a capable, solid worker telling a decent story. So I'll get behind Wesley.
I mean, the match with Dijak at Vengeance Day didn't have to pop off the way it did.
That was nuts.
Like,
A finger popped off.
a
yeah,
finger
Jack's
popped.
finger popped off.
It popped off. It just popped to the right or the left.
Okay,
whatever.
now we have a new title for the episode. Episode 280, finger pop off.
I told you that title might not last long.
Episode 280, finger pop off. Yeah, I think we can do that.
I'll write it down so you don't forget.
I'm gonna let you swallow your thing. I'm gonna throw in one quick swallow here, just because this conversation made me think. I'm swallowing the fact that Matt Riddle did not return at the Royal Rumble, and that he's just been off my TV, and I've been able to enjoy wrestling for months. It has been fantastic. Let's keep it up. Rehab for life.
Well, yeah, now he has a grill and what was it? A whole ass porn star girlfriend.
A
Is that
whole
what I
ass
said?
porn star as a girlfriend.
He had a whole ass porn star for a girlfriend before he went into rehab, and I have a feeling that was part of the fucking problem. So the fact
Now
that
he
he's
has
got a
grills.
grill and all that shit, just listen, Riddle, hear me out. Quit wrestling, do OnlyFans and porn. Like, maybe that's your calling. Maybe that's where you will succeed in life. And I can just not watch your videos. It's cool. Like, do that. I'd appreciate it.
Do that. Thanks.
I mean, he may have had the whole ass porn star girlfriend like before all this, but he didn't like post her. You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
Like,
Well, no, because he was fucking two of them at the same time, and then they found out about each other, and it became an issue. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
He
like
sucks.
the comments on their pictures are, they're.
could
not
you
very
imagine
nice.
dating a porn star and then cheating on a porn star? Like,
With another porn star?
with another porn star, like you're in a relationship, and it's like an understood monogamous relationship, and you understand what she does for work, and then you go out and cheat on her, and like, who cheats on a porn star? Like, what?
With a
Anyway,
Matt Riddle does.
fuck that guy. Will, spit or swallow?
I'm going to spit something that's off the beaten path because I don't want to trudge too far ahead. One thing for me from the indie world that's been kind of grinding my gears recently. And Allison, and she hears me bitch about this regularly, is entrances in the indie world. One thing
Does
that
it-
go
Does it
ahead.
have you pissed off for greatness?
No, but it
Okay.
can.
No.
You want me to do the spill? You want me to do the spill? You know what has me pissed off for greatness this week, you guys? Are entrances in indie shows. Not everybody's Roman Reigns. Come on. Nobody gives a shit about your hometown podunk mud show where you're going to come out to a country song that was played on every South Broadway bar, and then it takes you 4.5 minutes to get to the ring. Then it takes you 4 more minutes to go around and shake every hand and kiss every baby. Then you get in the ring 10 minutes later. Like, you're not Roman Reigns. Nobody cares about your mid-tier mud show, Southern States United Podunk open weight heavyweight title. Like, get to the ring, do a match, and get out. Like, it shouldn't take you 10 minutes to get to the ring during your entrance show. That's it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Every single dude on the card.
Mm-hmm. Every entrance. I timed them one night, and there wasn't one that was less than 5 minutes.
That's absurd.
On the entrances. At an indie show, 5-minute entrances. They were playing whole songs every
I was
time a
going to
wrestler
say, how
came
do you
out.
make an entrance in
Uh-huh.
a gym last 5 minutes? You've got a
It's
10-foot
not
walk.
even in a gym.
One of the tag teams use Industry Baby, the Lil Nas X song and everything, and it goes through every verse in the song. Every rapper's like bars gets sung, and they're dancing around and high-fiving and like getting in the ring and doing flips. Their entire entrance is the beginning to end of the entire song Industry Baby. And that's what I'm spitting, is your entrance for your show should not be the entire length of the song.
It shouldn't be longer than the match.
Yeah.
In some case.
So there you go.
Katie, spit or swallow.
My final thing from Raw, I don't know why this has taken so long for me to get through all of this. I'm swallowing Elias versus Montez Ford. Montez Ford is a fucking star.
I did have Tez on my list.
That match, listen, I'm so sick of people being like, oh, Street Profits are gonna break up, and which y'all start putting some goddamn respect on Angelo Dawkins. That's just a given fact. But like, if they ever break up, which they should never break up, I'm gonna reiterate, they should never break up. If they do, Montez Ford is going to be a star. We already know this. This is his first opportunity getting a shot at a singles title. And the fact that I get him, Gargano, and Rollins in a chamber, I'm so fucking excited. That match is going to pop off like the fingers.
I agree. I said this on Twitter. As much as I am not a fan of Austin Theory, the idea of a Montez Ford Austin Theory feud for a mid card title has the makings of things that we saw with like The Rock and Austin for the IC title, or Triple H and The Rock for the IC title. One of those mid card feuds that could be the beginnings of seeing two guys, catapulted into the main event. Just preliminarily looking at it. So I kind of want Tez to win everything.
Give him everything.
The chamber, the title, and then let that be his first feud is Austin trying to get that belt back and let them do their one-on-one singles thing. But again,
the rematch at Mania.
You put respect on Dawkins' name. What do we do with Dawkins then?
Well, if say Montez Ford wins, which at this point I don't know who is going to walk out of that chamber, which I kind of like. I like the anticipation of not knowing, like, because if it was like a chamber with Roman, we know Roman would walk out with all the titles. So I like the fact of not knowing. So say Montez Ford wins and Austin Theory wants a rematch at Mania. I mean, that's only a month of not quote unquote utilizing Dawkins, but like you can still have him doing singles matches and being in Montez Ford's corner, and Theory could win the title back at Mania, and then they could, by then, tag titles could be split up and they can go after tag titles again.
All right.
Fantasy booking.
I worry that if they split them up, Dawkins falls to the wayside, or they say something like something that I was going to spit where they were, oh, welcome to Monday Night Raw, Maximum Male Models. And it's like, bitch, you can go on whatever show you want. You work for WWE and there is no brand split. So don't tell me that Dawkins is on SmackDown now because there is no brand split. He's wherever the fuck he wants to go. Anyway.
That's true.
As long as they don't just like toss him in the Hurt Business, like,
yep.
What is it? The Land of Forgotten Toys? Like,
what were you saying?
Dawkins is the Butch Reed of the Street Profits. He's not the Marty Jannetty. Doom was Butch Reed and Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons had a fantastic solos career, went on to become Farouk and all of that. Butch Reed also had a fantastic singles career in Mid-South and stuff. I think Dawkins has the potential to be a singles star, but everybody knows Montez is the Ron Simmons of that pair. Two fantastic workers that can be champions, but when one is, substantially better than the other one, who is also really great. See also Heavy Machinery. Also another thing, Otis and Tucker were the exact same way. Otis was a fantastic worker. Tucker was just really good and got left on the wayside.
Tucker was there.
Tucker.
Jesus.
I miss it. Like, I kind of wish they would have brought him back and then just let him join Alpha Academy, and then we got that back, and then
that would have fit.
Chad Gable could have like been mad at him for saying Tucky. Like, it could have been a whole thing. They could anyway.
Gotta.
That was Katie. So Allison, spit or swallow.
I am going to spit the fake beef with Grayson Waller and Shawn Michaels. Like, it's just.
I'm swallowing the fact that Waller got suspended and I don't have to watch him for hopefully a couple weeks.
No, he's coming back next week. He's a match against Tyler Bate.
He missed one
week. He got suspended for 1 week.
Okay, then I'm spitting that.
He probably just needed to go to like a friend's wedding or something, so they wrote him off TV for the week so he could take the week off.
I'm spitting that then.
Not a big Waller guy.
Nope.
When they started leaking the fights from the Performance Center And I was like, there's no way in hell a WWE trainee inside a ring, inside the performance center where they're openly doing classes is setting their vlogging. I was like, there's no way in hell WWE's letting that happen.
I did like how that was shot, though.
It was a cool angle, but the fact they initially tried to put it out there like it was a shoot, I was like, no, there's no way WWE's allowing filming like that inside of that facility. Like, all of these people have NDAs to prevent that from happening. And so I was immediately like, this is definitely a work. But they did so good. So many people bought it at first.
Yeah.
No, I agree. There's nothing like Waller's not like a shit heel that I don't like because like he's a dickhead. Like there are some of those out there where there are guys I can appreciate them, but like I know that they're a piece like MJF. Like you get the sense like he's really just a piece of shit human being.
Bastard.
There's nothing about Waller like the gimmick is annoying. His in-ring work isn't that great. I don't really like him and JD Mc dun dun dun.
Like bobblehead, exactly.
No, Batman. I've got some other names for him here. What did I write down? JD Downton Abbey.
That's an insult to Downton Abbey. Don't hate on my show. Like
JD Mc Don't Do Drugs Kids.
I like that one.
And then JD McDonough, Big Head.
Quality.
Von Wagner, where we're just going to create nicknames for him.
Possibly.
I think so. Well, because Von Wagner sucks and he's not on TV anymore, so we can't use our names. We got to do somebody else. So, works for me.
JD McDumbass.
JD McDumbass is always up there. That's a popular one.
McDouchebag.
And JD McDouchebag. Chat, go ahead.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
This is what they're going to do for the next hour, Matt. You just gave them their only personality trait.
I try.
You know, like when you look at somebody and you're like, I bet they smell. Like that's how he looks to me.
Well, Allison's just mean.
I mean, she's not wrong. He just looks like a child with a very large head. And as a child, he's got a big head. I don't like it.
You know, like they talk about like naming kids, like it's weird naming kids like names for adults, like Robert, or like you don't look at a baby and think to call a baby Robert, right?
Yeah, my name's William. I get it.
I was gonna say he is the living embodiment of that. He is a child with an adult name, but it's his face.
He looks like Finn Balor's mini-me.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly.
He was trained by Finn.
No, I know, and that's what's awesome about it is he looks like Finn Balor's mini-me.
He looks like Finn Balor, except the head is massive.
He's a pop toy wish version of Finn Balor.
Yeah,
are you asking me if your first name? I don't know what your fucking
He said,
birth
"My
certificate
first
says.
My first
I don't
name
think Bobby knows his first name. That's
the LSU guy just became self-aware.
I don't think
he has feelings now, you guys.
I was gonna say, I know this is weird for you, Bobby, but I don't think anyone was talking about you in that conversation. I just grabbed a random name and it happened.
Well, just because Bobby's 95 years old doesn't mean we were talking about him.
Your best friend from high school, Abraham Lincoln, also weird adult name. That didn't end so well for him, by the way. Sorry if you lost.
It's a funny story.
Oh,
No.
Wait, you got a funny story, Elsa?
I do have a funny story about
Okay.
like little kids with grown men names. So my nephew's name is Nathaniel. You know, that's a grown man's name. He's 6 and he's really 12. Like he's way too smart for his age and his environment. And he won't like if you try to call him Nate or anything, he's like, my name is Nathaniel, like with an attitude. It's like, okay, oh man, okay. So
Like,
The whole
take it
name.
easy, Grandpa.
The whole name. The whole name.
Like, no, I chose at a young age to be called Katie, not Catherine. No.
Ew.
You're putting that out there, huh?
I mean,
And you have called me my government name many a time, so
And you
it's
got
not...
very mad when it happened, so I'm surprised. I didn't think we. Okay.
I've been
Catherine.
Will since kindergarten. When I got
I've
old
been a
enough to
Katie.
go to school and they said, "What do you want to be called?" I said, "I want to be called Will." And nobody outside of my mother or grandmother has called me William since.
I was gonna say the only person that calls me Matthew is my mother and my wife when I'm in trouble. So
Yep.
Vince tries to, and it's weird.
no, I don't let him do it.
See, I'm the reverse. Do not call me by nickname. Like, there are 3 people on this planet that can call me Al, and Will is one of them. I can't stand.
What about Allie?
Ugh.
She's not
That is how I'm referring to you going forward.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said anything, Allison.
Yeah, well, mistakes
Will.
have been made. It's fine.
Spit or swallow?
I'm gonna swallow Carmelo Hayes. While we're kind of on the topic of JD McWhateverface, I'm a huge Carmelo Hayes fan, and when he came out and started cutting that promo before, Wish Prince Devitt came out, like when he was cutting that promo, I was like, yeah, he's gonna go. He's gonna be the one to challenge Breaker. Finally, he's gonna be the one to take the belt off of him. And then JD came out, and it kind of, went to what it was. But Carmelo Hayes is one of those bona fide stars. He's just ready. The moment you give him the belt or give him a push, we saw what he did with the North American title through the whole unification process, that whole thing, the hanging the rafters and the top of the banner. I feel like for the most part, he's ready to go. Like Carmelo's ready to push.
I fucking love Carmelo Hayes.
He's amazing.
Why are you deep sighing?
Because Bobby's trying to connect with me, and it's not going to happen. I don't care.
Bobby, stop
If we
trying
have
to make it
similar
happen.
pictures, or on occasion you have a semi-decent take that I might agree with, we're not going to be friends. We're not.
I'm so sorry he's
Not gonna
trying
happen.
this.
Yeah. You're not getting in my pants, Bobby. I'm sorry. Let go. No, I love Mello. I just hate that. Like, we were like, oh, we're gonna get Braun versus we're getting JD McDipshit. But Dragunov's back, and maybe Dragunov will whoop his ass, and I won't have to worry about it. And we can move back on to Mello versus Braun, which is what I want to see.
Fucking love Ilya Dragunov.
Me as well.
He's so cool.
Catherine, spit or swallow?
Don't. No. But I guess I'll go. I'm jumping to AW because I feel like I've said nothing. I'm spitting the Garcia Guevara gauntlet because that was fucking stupid and a waste of my goddamn time. Ricky Starks already beat Jericho. I don't want to see the Jassholes anymore. I don't want to deal with the Jassholes anymore. Ricky Starks deserves better than the Jassholes. I'm over this. The only person I somewhat like in that group is Daniel Garcia, but his my like and love for him has diminished ever since he decided to not join the BBC and joined the Jassholes. So I hate it. Ricky deserves better.
He didn't join you on your island.
I hate you.
She's not on iron.
You said the BBC,
I know.
not the BCC.
Yeah,
And
I know.
You were on BBC Island, and he didn't join you, and now you're upset. I get it.
Ricky Starks can come too. It's fine.
The nicest part about my week has been, like, I started every wrestling show either like an hour or half an hour late, except for Dynamite. I watched it on Thursday. So I had the privilege of fast forwarding through everything JAS.
Jassholes.
And it made my entire viewing experience so much more better. So I just put spit everything Jassholes, fast forwarded through it all.
I don't blame you.
I just wrote spit JAS.
I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I liked about the whole thing is that like Jericho was able to sit in the crowd for like 20 minutes with that stupid ass mask on and nobody realized it was him.
I literally didn't even notice until...
Yeah, no one did. I thought it was
Yeah.
hilarious.
I kind of wish you would do more of that. Just sit in the crowd, not talk, wear a mask.
Or just like go on tour again so we don't have to see you.
Far more tolerable that way. Allie, spit or swallow.
Okay, I'm going to spit and swallow something at the same time.
Okay.
For different reasons. So
Halfsies.
Multi-talented.
I'm going to swallow the fact that they're going to be putting Mark Briscoe on AEW TV.
He was on TV.
Whatever. I'm going to spit the fact that it took his brother dying for it to happen.
Yes, exactly. Like, Mark Briscoe cutting that promo, I thought was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's the fact that it took Jade legitimately dying for them to be like, you know what? We fooled. You can be on TV now. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He was on Rampage tonight, doing his promo. Again, I was watching with the wife. She was not paying attention, but she heard his promo and she looked up and she goes, "He looks just like he sounds."
He does.
And she goes, "What is this?" And I'm like, before you say anything, his brother died like 2 weeks ago, and this is the first time he's been allowed on TV, and it's because she goes, "Okay, then I'll shut up." Like, all right.
Let me give her some context clues.
Yeah. I know, I did. I didn't know he was going to show up. He just did and started talking. Not much I can do about that. Pause it real quick. Before you make fun of the way he talks or sounds or the way he looks. Just so you know.
Like, hold on. Wait. Just give it a second. Let me explain.
Yeah.
I liked how he made the "I'm going solo from here" comment, and I was like, dude, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, he made it perfectly clear he's not here to make buddies. He's not here to do anything. He's going to go in with Aztec names and just be Mark Briscoe.
Did he drop the titles? What are they doing with the tag titles?
They haven't made any official announcements of what is actually going to happen. Everybody is assuming that they will do some kind of like vacancy and then hold a tournament once they start doing TV tapings.
I was gonna say that you also kind of need them to do something with Ring of Honor in order to do something with those titles.
Bingo.
Facts.
Truth.
Will, can you spit and swallow at the same time, or is that just one person on here with that talent?
Well, actually, I have one on my list, and it's from AEW Dynamite. That is a spit and a swallow simultaneously at the same time, and I've been waiting to get to here. This whole point, I am spitting Anime DX while simultaneously swallowing just enough of the Elite that only makes up Kenny Omega's 1/3 of it. And I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. I've starting at Wrestle Kingdom. I just realized like Omega can work. Like, the dude is a quality worker. He's not great on the mic. I can't get past that whispery. My name's Kenny Omega, and I talk like this when I do promos. Goodbye, adieu. Like, no, fuck you. Just wrestle. Get a mouthpiece. Like,
fuck you. Oh, I thought that's what Don Callis was.
Don Callis is cool. Not really. Don Callis is just stealing Cornette's gimmick and getting away with it. But I don't like Anime DX, but I like Omega because he's a fantastic worker in the ring. Just not my pick on the mic.
I was going to say, not great on the mic is being generous. He's not good on the mic. He's not okay on the mic. He sucks on the mic.
He just
says... possibly literally, but not on camera.
He's terrible.
I am terrible.
Not you.
No,
Kenny Omega.
She doesn't like
also,
Omega.
Kenny Omega.
I agree. Funny thing. Did you guys notice before Rampage, when they were plugging Rampage, they said tonight on Rampage, the Elite defend their trios titles for the first time? And I was like, that happened on Wednesday. You guys fucked up because the Elite were not on Rampage tonight.
No.
I mean, Excalibur does a lot of talking. I gotta give the man some slack.
Phoenix. I hate the way he says.
Red Phoenix.
But it was like a pre-recorded promo for Rampage.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know how that happened. Maybe
fucked
they were
up.
gonna switch things and they ended up switching them after the fact. I don't know.
They also had Jay Lethal listed for Rampage, and Jay Lethal did not wrestle on Rampage.
Oh, that I don't remember.
And there was another match. Like there were 3 matches that I think happened on Dynamite that they listed.
Oh,
for
you
Rampage.
said Swerve and Pillman Jr.
Yeah, which happened on Dynamite.
I saw your tweet. I know.
Yep.
We'll eventually have to stop making excuses for Excalibur.
No, he's the best part of that commentary team. So I will
Never in a world that he exists in the same company as Jim Ross are you allowed to say that.
Is Jim Ross on the commentary team for Dynamite?
No, I guess you're right. I'm sorry, Katie. Fair enough.
Gotcha.
However, the fuck up happened on Rampage, and JR is on the commentary team for Rampage.
No, fair enough.
JR is a gem.
But
Shut your dirty mouth.
JR is a gem.
Katie, spit or swallow.
Shut up. This is the big one. And I'll go on a little rant if I have to. I'm spitting the ass boys winning the tag titles.
Boo.
Are you booing me or the ass boys?
Booing you. Boo.
Y'all can
Katie.
boo me all you want. I love the Acclaimed. They were the most organically over team that you have in your
Don't
company.
disagree. Love the Acclaimed.
Everybody loves the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the fact that this weird feud with the ass boys has been like on and off for a few months, give or take, and then they just randomly decided, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have the ass boys win, but not because Daddy Ass turned on the Acclaimed. Oh no. He came out and wanted to help the Acclaimed because the ass boys were trying to cheat. So like it would make more sense if Daddy Ass teamed with his children and screwed over the Acclaimed. It very well could happen if the rematch happens at Revolution, whatever pay-per-view it is. It could still happen. But the fact that you had on a random ass Wednesday during Black History Month, that's fucked. I'm mad. I hate the ass boys. Anyway, somebody can go on.
I am with you. I was not happy about the Ass Boys winning, but I would really like to hear why Will and Allison thought that this was a good thing, so much so that they booed you.
Yeah, I got booed, not even on my own show. So I'm kind of okay.
Okay, so I feel like that the Ass Boys have been doing a lot of work and getting a lot better. Like they've made a lot of progress over the last little bit here. And I honestly think that, they deserve a little bit of a push. Like the Acclaimed is over regardless of the belts. They don't need the belts to be over. And I think, Colton and Austin, deserve a little love.
But on a random ass Wednesday with
no
build?
This isn't going to last very long. We know that. There's kind of been a build for it.
Yeah, but there was stuff in between the build. There was all of the JFFJARRETT shit in between the Ass Boys beginning and now. So
yeah, it should have been done with the turn back for their dad, blah blah blah. But I'm not super mad at it. Is the timing of it a little wonky? But I don't know. They deserve some love. I feel like they've been neglected most of their life. They might as well get some love right now.
I've got an idea.
Okay,
follow me here.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, the Acclaimed are bigger than the belts right now at this point. The Acclaimed don't need the tag team titles, just like Allison just said. But the important thing to remember here is Matt's favorite part about sports entertainment is the storytelling part of it. Like having a good story to go along with these matches. So think about the Guns getting those belts in the same way that like a transitional champion. So we're going to get the Guns with the tag titles for a short time. They're obviously set up to a built-in feud with FTR for those belts because they did all the talking about, ass boys out, top guys out, like all the back and forth between them. This is going to build to the Guns versus FTR, with FTR getting the belts. Then we're going to be able to get the FTR Acclaimed feud that we all want.
Why couldn't we just get that without giving the ass boys the belts?
Because FTR's contract
Is in limbo.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's why it couldn't happen that way.
I will agree with Will and Kylie, who Katie's had on Inside the Mind. I've actually said this. I can understand that booking makes sense and still not like it. It would not have really made sense with everything that they have done to not have the ass boys win here, because them taking another loss, it doesn't do anything for anyone. It doesn't do anything for the Acclaim because the Acclaimed have already beat them. It doesn't do anything for the ass boys because now they're just losing a bunch. They lost their father. They lost all their matches. Like, it does not progress the story, and this at least does something for the story, and it kind of makes sense. It's where they're going. I still don't fucking like it.
Nope.
For them. I don't care how much. I can't say I don't care how much they improve. I don't think they've improved enough to where I think they deserve anything. Which is their dad feels the same way. So, like, their dad doesn't love them. Why should I? Anyway, nope, not gonna go there.
No, because I'm allowed to make jokes about it. You are too, but nobody else can.
I could not make that joke though. I couldn't. So
It's fine.
Anyway,
I'll make it myself.
Allison, spit or swallow.
I am going to spit the Bryan Danielson shit that he's having to do for MJF. It's literally just a rebrand of the 5 pillars of Jericho.
The 5 phases or whatever it's called.
I thought it was like,
what was it called?
The 5 trials. Fuck, I don't know. The same shit that MJF made Jericho do before.
And CM Punk.
Like, over it. Like, I love MJF, but like, he's kind of been boring in this title run. Like,
And Wardlow too. This is just his thing.
Yeah, like,
it was the 5 labors of Jericho. Thank you, Google.
Which was funny because Jericho looked like he was going to go into labor. Anyway,
that was the pizza cutter thing, right? With Nick Gage and all of that nonsense.
Nick Gage, Matt's favorite.
Oh, I love me some Nick Gage. So here's the deal. I don't mind all this because this is just like, it's MJF's gimmick, is blah, blah, blah. I kind of wish at some point he would actually pick somebody that prevents the person from getting the match, and then they have to find a creative way around it instead of just watching these people win 5 matches, 8 matches, whatever the fuck it is, and then getting their title shot, because again, it's the same thing over and over and over again. I agree. However, the story that MJF told on Dynamite about Liv and the car crash, and honestly, I don't know why. I really don't know why I ever think that this is ever going to be a sincere moment with him. I should see it coming.
Really should.
Every time I'm like sitting there, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is this story about? And then it's, I picked up her body and I put it in the driver's seat. Blah, blah. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're a fucking scumbag. Like
sir, that is a felony.
But the fact that 300 people at least called the police on MJ. I haven't heard shit like that since the NWO beating up people backstage and people calling in the cops, because like you don't hear that anymore. So I appreciated that. I don't remember them saying when Triple H said that Kane fucked a corpse that people were calling the coroner's office, checking on Katie's family. Like, so not you. Katie.
I know. Fucking hate it.
So no, that part I enjoy. That I'm gonna swallow because fucking got me every time.
Yeah. Well, and we got Takeshita. Love him. He's great. Also, fuck off, Bobby. So Allison said Bryan Danielson. I mean, I'm swallowing the match he had with Rouge.
That was
'Cause-
good. The whole
Also on my
Yes,
swallow
yes.
list is the match with Rouge. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a bull versus a dragon, so obviously the dragon has to win. Like that's just kind of how dragon can fly.
Who do you wrestle?
Rouge.
Rouge.
El Toro
He has a
Blanco.
really
that?
long name, and then it said Rouge.
Rouge, Dragon Lee's brother.
Oh, the lead singer Rush.
Yes.
No, that's Geddy Lee.
No, that's Rush. It's Rush.
Yeah, it's
Rush.
Rush.
Come on.
Yeah. That's what it says when it comes out. It doesn't say Rouge.
It says Rush.
It
It says Rush.
Rouge.
Yeah.
Big time Rush. Okay.
Nice. But the match was good. Both matches. Takeshita and MJF and the bull versus the dragon. I'm down. They were good. Why not?
That match was good.
And
Mhm.
we got blood in both matches, so I'm sure all those people, that hate blood on TV were having a shit fit. Oh, why they got bleed?
Oh my god, the amount of shit I saw because Takeshita bladed and handed the blade to the ref, and people were like, "See, this shit is like fuck off. Nobody cares about your opinions anymore, guys. I'm sorry, I don't. Like, let them do whatever the fuck they want." It's Takeshita. He is the definition of like a cinnamon roll. He looks like a cinnamon roll and can kill you. And he loves Cinnabon, so it like makes sense. So like, let him do what he wants to do. He's having a great time in America. Let him live. If he wants to blade, let him fucking blade. Like the women, they're allowed to blade. It's crazy. I know. What a concept.
Women bleed?
I know.
Once a month.
Can you believe?
Do you get it?
Here's my thing. Like, if you don't like it, stop fucking watching AEW. Like,
Because-
go watch
Yep.
WWE where people don't bleed on purpose.
I've got this. I've got this whole thing, and I'm gonna say it, and it's gonna be a very Bobby-ism.
Oh no.
People in wrestling been blading for a long time, and people didn't realize it was happening until people like Moxley started getting caught with them.
I'm honestly shocked Mox did not bleed in his match tonight.
It's like the first time.
Yeah,
He will next week though, because it's some tornado tag match bullshit. So you know damn well he's bleeding.
but yeah, I think that people did fine hiding them for years. Like people didn't always get blood the hard way. They didn't get color the hard way in the ring. Guys have been blading for a long time, and it wasn't common knowledge, and that was because guys were really good at it. Now they're getting lazy with how they do it.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's Will's turn.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Matt, it's your
Sure.
show.
Yeah. Allison, spit or swallow. No, Will, spit or swallow.
I'm going to swallow the match for Botch Spots and Chair Shots Most Improved Wrestler of 2022, and that was OC Orange Cassidy. I thought Orange Cassidy had a great match. I'm a big fan of this run with the North American title, keeping it in the school bag, kind of doing his own thing, coming out, whatever. Yeah. Pockets.
All
I like
Atlantic title.
What'd I say?
North American.
Whatever.
It's the same thing. At this point, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah. The mid-card title from whatever brand we're talking about at this point.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think Orange Cassidy's perfect. He's nailing it. He's embracing the stereotypes of his character. So I'm a big Orange Cassidy fan right now. I like what he's doing.
I like orange juice. I fucks with it.
So you're talking about tonight from Rampage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rampage.
Because I only took one note from Rampage, and that was Spit, JAS, and Practical Jokers. Everything else.
Yeah, basically.
Other than Orange Cassidy, I just said gargle Rampage as a whole outside of the Orange Cassidy match.
The middle of Atlantis Championship. Also, by the way, Jesus said that Roosh, is that what you guys were saying?
Roosh.
Is just rush in Spanish. So all I'm doing is translating for our American audience,
Oh.
to be clear.
See, it is kind of like Vince is still here with me because I'll say Roosh and then you'll just say it Rush, and it's the same thing, just two different
Exactly.
languages. It's just like having Vince here.
Any thoughts on Orange Cassidy?
I like him. I didn't
Yeah.
at first, but he's growing on me.
Okay. There you go, Will. All right, Katie, spit or swallow. For those of you listening, by the way, we all just did a thumbs up, and Will
Oh
takes
yeah,
forever to
I'm
do it
sorry.
because he comes
No.
later than everyone else.
All time, forever.
Katie, spit or swallow.
I'm gonna hop back to NXT real quick. Sol Ruka and Zoe Stark. Swallow. I fucking love Sol Ruka. She's so good. Like, it's not even fair at this point. Like, she has no right to be that fucking talented. And Zoe, not the biggest fan of, like, character or anything, also very good in the fucking ring. Like, there's a reason she was chosen as one of the NXT girlies to go into the Rumble. Like, there's a reason. And the beatdown after Zoe wins, Ruka hits the Soul Snatcher, which, hell of a name, hell of a finisher. Matt and I said a few weeks ago that she should hopefully just save that finisher for bigger matches so she doesn't fuck up her back quickly. But still fantastic. I love it. This is why I love NXT is the women's matches, specifically Soul Ruka right now, because 10 out of 10.
Literally, all of my notes from NXT are about women's stuff. So.
As they should be.
But yeah, no, I'm about it. And I do love the name Soul Snatcher. I've known a few, so. Allison, spit or swallow.
I am going to move to SmackDown, and I will always and forever continue to spit this new situation with the Viking Raiders, with Valhalla, still a really terrible stolen gimmick from Maxine Impaler, like blatantly the whole thing.
She wrestles for Impact and NWA, Matt.
Yeah, like she's been that exact gimmick, gear, makeup, everything for years, and yeah.
She or they?
She.
Okay.
I thought they went by they. Could be a she, they. We don't know.
I just want to make sure we're getting pronouns correct.
Could be both. Let's check.
Are you looking it up, though?
It's Googleable.
It's Googleable.
On this show, it's Gargleable.
Gargleable?
Gargleable.
Gargleable.
They. My apologies.
That's okay.
What happens?
This is why we check.
Damn it.
I did a little bit of looking her up after all of that happened with Valhalla coming out and the whole internet thing. So
the IWC collectively taking a shit on it all at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Sarah Logan just looks weird. Allison was talking about people who look like they smell earlier. Sarah Logan.
Yeah, like Max does an amazing job and is like a phenomenal worker, like amazing. But Sarah Logan, it's just she's a scary looking ballet. Like she doesn't do anything in the ring.
No.
She doesn't wear shoes, and I bet her feet stink. Anyway.
Basically.
I agree. I'm not a fan of this. I would much rather have had Usos versus the Banger Bros than I would have had Banger Bros, Viking Raiders, and Usos versus makeshift tag team. But Usos won, so I'm okay. Will, spit or swallow?
I am forever swallowing anything that has to do with Paul Heyman. When he came out and cut the promo tonight, and then Sammy got interrupted. Anything that he's doing right now, just anything he touches turns to gold. So I'm going to swallow Paul Heyman. I recently said, in my opinion, I think at the end of this Bloodline run, he's done enough in his career to have solidified that number one manager of all time spot. He recently passed Bobby the Brain Heenan on my list. So I think after the Bloodline's all said and done, Heyman will have solidified the #1 manager of all time role.
How dare you perpetuate Jewish stereotypes on here? Everything Heyman touches turns to gold. What's wrong with you?
I can say whatever I want. I'm part of the tribe.
I love Paul Heyman's, like we said earlier, Paul Heyman's fucking good.
Mhm.
He can hold these storylines together himself. Roman doesn't need to be here, as proven on both Monday and Friday. Like,
He came out tonight with both belts and still ran the whole show by himself while wearing the titles.
Let's talk about everything he did, but most specifically him creeping behind the pillar as Jimmy and Jay talked, and then popping out and asking Jimmy, "Oh, so was that your brother? Did he say anything?" And Jimmy blatantly lying, and like the look on his face. And then at the end of the show, when he's talking to Jimmy, he's like, "Oh yeah, so I'd let you talk to Roman, but there's bad reception anyway. He wants you to go home and watch the show from home next week, because when you're at home, you see more on TV." Basically letting him know, A, Jay was outside talking to Sammy, and we know about it. Roman watched it, and Roman saw it. But B, we also know what the fuck you were doing that you didn't think we knew about. We know you lied. So, no, the whole thing plus everything with Sammy was fucking masterful. And shout out to Paul Heyman. I let him touch my dick. If it turns to gold, I'm down. You use a golden dick for a little while.
okay. I think it's also because aren't the Usos not allowed in Canada?
That is correct.
So yeah.
Well, technically, I think it is both of them. I think Jimmy
I don't know,
for sure. I know Jay is questionable.
It's gargleable.
I just keep seeing that pop up because I know SmackDown's obviously in Montreal, and then the pay-per-view's in Montreal, so that's
kind of why they are telling them to stay home.
Paul Heyman said, "You know what? I'm gonna make life easy for you guys. I'll write you off TV. Go the fuck home and watch the show." Per the tribal chief.
Fuck. What are you doing, Will?
Never mind.
What are you Googling?
I was
You can see your screen.
I was Googling what the weight would be for a cylindrical cone made of gold. So I would.
What the fuck?
Why?
Because Matt said Heyman was going to turn his wiener to gold, and I was like, how much would a dick of gold weigh? Like, how much would it cost? So I was like doing the area of a cylinder, and I was getting a calculator to convert it because I didn't want to have to do the math in my head. So I was getting the area.
Now, if you guys are listening to this and you're not familiar with the show, you're probably like, wow, Will's spending a lot of time thinking about Matt's dick. This is odd, but it's not. This is a normal occurrence. So.
I was
No,
just
this
going to be
usually
like, do you
happens
have
with
any
that.
idea how much like a penis of gold would cost? That was my whole plan. But I forgot you guys could see my screen.
But also, you have to remember that all penises comes in different shapes and sizes. So,
True.
the size of the penis the size of the penis depends on how much gold is needed to turn the penis into gold and what it would cost.
There you go.
Well, I
Is
was
it
thinking
hollow?
post-touch, though. Like, if it took it and, like, would it be the question of would it be flaccid or hard? Like, are you a grower, not a shower? Like, would it, like, this is what I'm saying.
As soon
Would
as
you
he
get
touched
more
it
money?
and it turned to gold, it would become hard.
That's
But
what
what
I'm
I'm saying is, if you're over here off the island of relevancy and the island of Smackin' Raw, it may not be the same size, girth, and weight as over there on the island of BBC with Katie. Like, it's not all
see,
dicks are equal.
this is the brilliance of math, though. If I'm looking at, say, a 6.5-inch cylinder that's 2 inches around, I could get the area of that and figure out how much that would weigh if it was completely made of gold.
How did we get here?
Because Matt said something about a golden penis, and I immediately was like, how much would that cost? Like, if you had a penis made of gold.
All right. However, we are pushing 2 hours, so we are going to wrap this up. I'm going to give everyone one last spit or swallow. So pick your favorite one, and we're going to do that. Katie, spit or swallow?
Okay.
I'm sorry, Matt.
No, you're good. Trust me, this is
Sorry.
probably
This is-
clip worthy. So
Oh yeah, that's for sure. What do I want to? You know what? I'm gonna give the ladies of NXT some more love. My last swallow. I'm not even looking at the chat. My last swallow is Isla Dawn and Tatum Paxley because I love my spooky shit. I love Isla Dawn. I love the fact that Alba Fyre has joined with Isla Dawn. It just makes sense. So now I get a spookier tag team. I still can't believe that Kiana and Fallon took the belts off of Team Ninja Party, but that's fine. Not mad at it. A little mad. Very mad. It's fine. So maybe Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre can go after Kiana and Fallon. Get some new tag teams. That'd be cool. I'm down. But I like the match. And Ivy Nile came in for the save after the match. So
I agree, and I really enjoy Isla being like hot and crazy. You know, shout out to Bakley's sister. However, I do kind of need them to explain why Alba all of a sudden just started hanging out with Isla after their issues and everything. Like, at least kind of like tell me like what was in the fucking red rage powder that you blew in her eyes or something.
it's a mystery.
Yeah, and I would like to have my mystery answered.
It's like Kevin Owens getting pied in the face. We're never going to know who did it.
But I want to know.
I know you want to know. I also want to know.
this shit.
Scooby-Doo.
Listen, just because I have glasses doesn't mean I'm Velma. I can't figure this out.
Well, there are two of you. Maybe if we put you together, we get one Velma.
That we still couldn't figure it out.
Fuck.
Sorry.
But no, I agree with you, Katie. I agree. And again, all the women. Quick shout out to the fact that Fallon refused to, you know, break Brooks's heart before he popped his cherry. Like, let him do that first, and then you can break his heart.
Next week. I'm ignoring him.
Allison, spit or swallow.
I'm gonna spit fucking Ronda Rousey being back. Why wasn't she gone longer?
Why isn't she gone forever?
I was gonna say, why not forever? We're finally getting the Ronda Shayna tag team officially, I guess.
Yep. Which Shayna Baszler deserves so much better than the white claw of a human being known as Ronda Rousey.
I mean, she used to be with Nia Jax. I mean, Shayna is kind of Ronda's maybe a step up.
I mean, I guess
She has bad choices in Friends.
She really does. Like, just let Shayna be the badass she was in the chamber a few years ago and just wreck shit.
White claw of a human being.
That's exactly what she is. I have said it on numerous occasions.
I kind of like the teaming of Ronda and Shayna, and I also like am never gonna knock anyone that comes out and beats the shit out of Natty Neidhart. So
I know.
We only stand one sister in that family, and it's not Natty.
It's 100% Jenny. Point blank period.
100% Jenny.
100%.
But I feel in any other situation, I agree with you. Why Ronda? Why? So
as long as they don't put her like up for the women's title, like I don't really care. But please, no more of this.
It's because they're gonna go after the women's tag titles. That's why. Come on now.
Unless Natty got taken out and one of them gets her spot in the Elimination Chamber. Anyway.
Put Shayna in the chamber.
I mean, she's a pod person. She looks completely different.
Will spit or swallow?
My last one for the night. I'm spitting the Butcher and the Blade. Yeah, I'm getting them off my TV. I like Every Time I Die. I wish you would go back to making heavy metal.
Oh yeah, one of them's in a band.
Yeah, the band is
know that
awesome.
because you had a co-host who wouldn't shut the fuck up about it over on Discount Smackin Around from Buffalo. Katie, you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you did.
Stop the woman hating. He must be talking to you, Katie.
Bobby, if you don't shut the fuck up. This is basically also my show. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Women can hate women. Bobby just can't be a sexist prick. There's a difference.
Exactly.
I agree with you. I'm not a huge fan. I said it. I'm like, why are we watching two former technically world champions and a former Ring of Honor pure champion wrestle the three guys that have been with AEW the longest and have spent their entire careers taking pins?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing about Botcher and Bland to care about except for maybe the bunny, but not even really at this point. And same thing with Penelope and Kip. Like, she's the best part, but she did that stupid phone thing with her purse, and I was like, this is the dumbest fucking spot ever. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Let's see. Do I have anything that I want to share before we go? We found out on NXT that Roxanne Perez does have friends, and her friend is the final boss herself, Mako Satomura. We are going to get Roxanne and Mako versus Team Disco Ninja Party, and I'm excited about that. So that is a swallow for me.
Yes, Miko.
And Thea Hale getting kidnapped by The Rock's daughter after telling Tiffany Stratton to suck it. But that's it.
Poor Thea Hale. That poor girl's traumatized now.
She needed it. She won't shut the fuck up. I would have gagged her too. Anyway, she needs Katie. She needs
Never
it.
mind.
Well, actually, she's not. Bobby might. I think she's more Bobby's age than mine.
She's definitely more Bobby's age.
Yeah.
Age range. I apologize.
Allison, would you like to plug yourself for everyone listening?
Oh, yeah. You can find me on the tweeters and the tiki-taki. Just a girl 918. I'm at 741 TikTok followers. I'm trying to get to 1,000 so that I can go live and have another place where I have to keep Bobby in line. What's funny though is like Bobby's the face on TikTok and Will's the bad guy. Like everyone comes for Will on TikTok.
I don't understand how that could happen.
Dude, they really love Bobby on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
are people on TikTok okay?
Dude, he has like almost 20,000 followers on TikTok.
Just throwing that out there.
I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me.
There's no reason that Bobby should have that many followers and Allison doesn't have 1,000 yet. Also, I want to see how Allison gets banned from TikTok, so let's make that happen.
I've had like 2 or 3 thirst traps taken down.
Damn. Disrespectful.
Will, how many thirst traps have you had taken down, and where can they find them?
I'm no longer posting thirst traps. You can find my spicy site at Chef Will G. Other than that, I'm at the Will Gray everywhere you do anything on the internet.
I would like to believe that at Chef Will G, you would find disembodied hand slowly picking freshly made food prepared by Will off Will's naked body and eating it off camera. Maybe a nice manicured hand.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, you could if you go and pay the subscription, I'll do whatever you want. I'll take
I'm
what's
saying
it called?
that should be your content is like you cook the food in the nude and then place it on yourself, and you just have someone nearby maybe slowly remove the food from you.
Mm-hmm.
Be your thing.
I like that plan. I'll pretty much do whatever you want for $1.
I know you will.
Vince is reachable. You can ask him. He'll do it.
Katie, plug yourself.
Yeah, I know. You can follow me on Twitter at KatieRaxon13. Link to about to get all things She Leads Showcase. Twitch.tv/She Leads Showcase. Typically Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. YouTube.com/She Leads Showcase. Watch the videos because they're way more entertaining. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. If you want to listen. She leads the brand and the weekly show. My co-host Savannah and I do. Inside the Mind of is an interview series I do. Newest episode with Steve from SCW, the wrestling channel. Lovely gentleman. He was a great time. So that's up on the channel as well as Matt's and Will's. Allison will be on sometime this year. We have to make a date. Don't worry. It'll happen. Everybody, don't worry. Bobby will never be on the show. I'm just gonna put that on.
Inside the mind of.
Honestly,
I would love that.
It would be hilarious.
I have put myself in positions like that, and I will never do it again.
What if I come and babysit him?
I do not think I can handle that either. But everything else on She Lead is available, so go check it out. I do a lot of things.
And if you're watching this show, you already know where to find me. So what I'm going to do is something I was supposed to do during the show and I didn't do to close out. You can go to mycentralsecrets.com, which boasts one of the largest catalogs on the web across all the varying levels of adult toy categories with toys for him, for her, and for both. The product line is extensive compared to other competitors in the sexual wellness industry. Orders ship within 24 hours, so customers are always satisfied with both the price and quality. MyCentralSecrets.com has top-rated reviews and exceptional customer service. Go to sensual.creationworld.com to receive up to 10% or to receive 10% off your order today. That is sensual.creationworld.com. And if you're not, into the sexy stuff, if you're alone and you're masturbating, you're like, I don't need that, but you do have a dog. You know what? You can go to dog.com, right? Dog.com. It is your online dog supply shopping information destination. Everything your dog needs, from toys, treats, and food, is available, including collars, leashes. They even have outdoor gear and water safety gear for your furry friend. So go to dog.creationworld.com to receive up to 64% off your order today. That is dog.creationworld.com. And if you are still listening to this show and you are tired of shit and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to make it through my work day tomorrow, well, we've got something for you there too, ladies and gentlemen. You can go to... Let's pull it up. W.creationworld.com. W is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like other energy drinks do. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. W contains vitamins, amino acids, nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. The product is made in the USA, an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. W has handpicked what they believe to be the 10 most critical ingredients for focus and concentration. W contains important aminos and vitamins that canned energy drinks simply don't have. W has Neurofactor, a patented all-natural coffee cherry extract to help fuel you. This ingredient is what gives W its laser focus and fast reflex effects, making it especially perfect for gamers. They disclose full ingredients amounts, and the products will never contain fillers or artificial colors or dyes. W also is sugar-free, maltodextrin-free, and keto-friendly if you're on a diet. So go to w.creationworld.com and use code CREATION to receive 10% off your order today. Again, that is w.creationworld.com and use code CREATION. And go follow Creation World at It's Creation World on Twitter and Instagram, ITSCREATIA, creationworld.com, facebook.com/Creation World, or linktree/Creation World. Everywhere Creation World exists, you guys can find them. And through them, you will find me and all of our shows. Will, thank you so much for coming and joining us. And Allison, thank you for joining us for the first time and making sure Will was on time. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Because last time I tried to get Will on the show with me, he just showed up in his kitchen 45 minutes into the episode with nothing and then left
just
really
cut out
early.
halfway through, yeah.
My phone died.
Yeah.
Uh,
I did not forget you. I'm not plugging you.
Nope.
Katie, thank you.
Nope.
I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
For Botch Spots and Chair Shots and the She Lead Showcase, this has been the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
Later,
Thank you,
y'all.
Matt.